Hi guys, so for this video I'll be using knitting needles in size 6.5 millimeters. Those are circular needles. As I told you guys before, I like using circular needles because they have this wire here and they keep my stitches in place because I have to put my work down hundreds of times. And then I'm going to use Caron yarn in size 4. This is a yarn that has that 1 pound label on it. If you don't have Caron yarn, then you can also use Red Heart Super Saver yarn. See, but this one here seems much softer. So I'll leave like a medium-sized tail, and then I'll make a slip knot. And now I'll cast on 2 more stitches. You can cast them on any way you know how. Okay, so now I have 3 stitches. Now I'll turn my work around. Make sure not to grab the short tail, but the long one. Then I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle. I'll knit the second stitch. Then I'll knit the next stitch. And now I'll turn my work around. Again, I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle. Then I'll insert my hook right here, 1 stitch below. See? Then I'll wrap the yarn on the hook and then I'll pull through. So we are increasing now. So now knit the next stitch. And then I'll knit the last stitch. So now we have 4 stitches. Again, I'll turn my work around. I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle. Then right here under, see? 1 stitch below. I will make another stitch, so I'm just increasing. See, now we're gonna have 5 stitches instead of 4. Then I'll knit the next stitch, knit the next stitch, and then I'll knit the last stitch. So we have now 5 stitches instead of 4. Again, I'll turn my work around. I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, then 1 stitch below. I will increase, and then I'll knit the next 4 stitches. And now we have 6 stitches instead of 5. Then I'll turn my work around. I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, then 1 stitch below. I'll increase, see, right here. And now I will knit the last 5 stitches. So now we have 7 stitches instead of 6. Again, for next row, I'll turn my work around. I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, then I'll increase, see, on the second stitch, 1 stitch below. So right there, we insert our needle, and then we'll knit 1 stitch, and then I will knit the next 6 stitches. And now we have 8 stitches instead of 7. Again, now I'll turn my work around. I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, then 1 stitch below, I'll increase. And now I'll knit the next 7 stitches. Again, for the next row, I'll turn my work around, then I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, then I will increase 1 stitch below, and now I'll knit the next 8 stitches. So here for this row we have 10 stitches instead of 9. Now I'll turn my work around again, then I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, then I'll increase 1 stitch below, and now I'll knit the next 9 stitches. Again for the next row I'll turn my work around, then I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, I'll increase 1 stitch below, and now I'll knit the next 10 stitches. Again now I'll turn my work around, I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, I will increase 1 stitch below, and now I'll knit the next 11 stitches. For the next row we'll turn our work around, I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, then I'll increase 1 stitch below, and now I'll knit the next 12 stitches. It seems like I'm just repeating the same thing, which actually I am. I'm just increasing 1 stitch in the beginning of every row. So now for this row we have 14 stitches. Now I'll turn my work around again. I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle. I will increase 1 stitch below. See? And now I'll knit the next 13 stitches. Now I'll turn my work around. Again, I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle. I will increase 1 stitch below. And now I'll knit the next 14 stitches. I'll turn my work around. I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle. I'll increase 1 stitch below. Then now I'll knit the next 15 stitches. So now we have 26 stitches and we have something like a triangle. And now I'll turn my work around, and from now on we will not be increasing. We'll just keep working on our 26 existing stitches. So for every row we'll just pass this first stitch on our right needle because we want our edge to look like this. See, I really like this edge, see? It kind of blends together with the stitch itself. And then we'll just knit the next 25 stitches. So again, by the end of this row we have 26 stitches. Again, we'll turn our work around. We'll just pass this first stitch on our right needle, then we'll knit the next 25 stitches. Okay, so we just repeat this. So we'll continue working on our existing stitches until our work reaches around 58 inches. So now that our work reached 58 inches, we will start to decrease. So basically we want to end up with the same thing at the end of the scarf as we had in the beginning. I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle, then I'll knit the next 2 stitches together. Just knit and decrease any way you know how. You don't have to do it exactly like me. And now I'll knit the next 23 stitches. So just like we increased in the beginning, in every row, in the beginning of each row, we are going to decrease now in every row, in the beginning of every row. And now I'll turn my work around. Then I'll slip this first stitch on my right needle. I'll knit the next 2 stitches together. And now I'll knit the next 22 stitches. Again, I'll turn my work around. I'll pass this first stitch on my right needle. I'll knit the next 2 stitches. And now I'll knit these, I think should have 21 stitch. Now we only have 3 stitches left on our needles. So I will start, for the last row, I'll start to slip this first stitch into my needle, then I'll knit the next stitch. And now I insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. I'll knit the next stitch. Then I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. So I'm going to cut this yarn. And then I will chain 1. So now what we are going to do is we are going to make a loop on both sides of this scarf, you know, on these ears. So I think this should be enough. So I'm just going to insert my needle, my hook right here through this chain, well, any chain really. quite a large crochet hook. So I'm going to chain, well, 8 should be enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now right here through this last chain here, I will make a slip stitch. Then I will chain 1, and then we'll just cut this yarn, but I'm already just using a tail, so I don't have to cut it. I'll just weave the ends in. And then we will go back to the second ear. Then right here through that chain, I'll insert my hook. I will chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then through this next chain right here, I'll make a slip stitch. Now I'll chain 1 and we'll pull a yarn through. See, we have 2 of these loops. Hopefully they're not too big, but my buttons are quite large. How large, you might ask? Well, around 3 centimeters. 22 inches, then 22 inches. Yeah, I think this will measure it better. So basically I just have to go 1 row up. Let me try this again. We have 22 inches here and 22 inches here. So on both sides we have 22 inches, and then right here in the middle we have, well, almost 16 inches. Like it's between 15.5 inches and 16. Let me show you the camera, because maybe there are people who don't speak English, so 22 inches, and then on the other side also we have 22 inches, and then here in the middle we have, well, somewhere here, it's like between 15.5 and 16 inches, so basically just around here. So we have 26 stitches, so right here on a 13th stitch we are going to put the stitch marker, because we want it to be on the same page. Again, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, that one is in the perfect spot. So we're just gonna sew this button right here into this stitch, right next to our stitch marker. I'm going to remove the stitch marker now. See, it's somewhere in the center. Okay, good. Now we're just going to weave these ends in, and make a knot, and we will be done. We'll repeat the same thing for the other side. See how the bottom looks. So you can wear this in a few different ways. I'm gonna show you, well, at least two. Okay. Okay. See, we're taking the one from the... So we're putting the right one over the left one, and then we're gonna take the left ear and just gonna button it like this. Okay, let me just remove her hair for a second and fix this like nicely. So this is the one way you can wear this. It will look better in person, obviously, because you know she's looking on the side and it's not even. So basically, we would just take the left ear, fold it like this, and just button it up. Let me see if there's anything else we can do with this. Okay. Third version. Obviously there are more things you can do with it, but this is all I can think of right now. So this is all for today, guys, and thank you so much for watching.